हाँ जी सर। जिस तो मीटिंग तक कोई इस पे काम कर सकें। हाँ जी। जहाँ पे भी स्किल है सर और सर्टिंग पैनल है, तो आपका वेबसाइट अपडेट भी कर सकते हैं। अभी वेबसाइट है नहीं बनी। ओके। नई वेबसाइट बनी, पहले की चलती है जो चलती है, तो उसका कुछ अपडेट वगैरह का है? अपडेट तो नहीं सकता, तो कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं, तो आईटी में हो सर कुछ बाकी कार्ड दे दीजिए जरा, पासवर्ड कार्ड से। अब ठीक है, रखा हुआ है जैसे इसका फोटो है, बाकी होगा भी चीजें आपको जरूर दे सकते। उस दिन थे नहीं सर आप जब प्रियम से मिले थे, तो हाँ जी। एक बार और आया था सर, तो उसमें जरूर सर थे, तो आप शायद छुट्टी दे दो। हाँ हाँ हाँ, ये हो सर। तो कहीं एक बार तो कुछ हुआ फिर वैसे आपसे। हाँ हाँ, आज तक नहीं था सर, कुछ निकालिए सर, तो लोग जाएंगे बस। बताइए बताइए का लास्ट क्वार्टर है सर। हाँ हाँ, तो टारगेट पैसे हैं तो मैं अपनी लैपटॉप भी लिए हैं। ओके। लैपटॉप शायद आ रहे हैं। वो क्या है, इन्होंने पता नहीं जैन से लिए हैं कैसे लिए हैं, मतलब गवर्नमेंट से लिए हैं कहीं से, ये है जी सर कि गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी है ना, ये तो ये चाहते हैं कि सर नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी दिल्ली और नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी जोधपुर दोनों जगह कनेक्टेड है, तो वहाँ पे भी कुछ पीओ वगैरह चाहिए तो वो शेयर कर सकते हैं। ठीक ठीक, एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा आपको जी जी, कुछ होगा ना सर, ये से हेडफोन हेडफोन ये अभी सोचना नेक्स्ट क्लास बाकी आप मैं तो लोग फिट दे रही है ना, मैं तो हमारे बात देख रहे हैं सर। हाँ, और जैम का फुल है, तो रिक्वायरमेंट यही थी जैम नहीं, रिक्वायरमेंट तो जरूर से अच्छा जरूर। हम तो क्या है कोई स्पेक्स या टेक्निकल हम तो ठीक है ठीक है।
Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, sir. May we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Thank you. Good afternoon, respected dignitaries and all attendees. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's special lecture on professional knowledge and practice of mediation. In an era where the justice delivery system is not only about adjudication but also about reconciliation, healing, and sustainable solutions, mediation has emerged as one of the most powerful tools in the legal profession. It is no longer merely an alternative to litigation, it is a skill, a profession, and a philosophy that defines the future of dispute resolution. And to guide us through this vital and evolving field, we are truly privileged to have with us today an eminent jurist, a visionary in judicial reform, and a tireless advocate of mediation and access to justice. Honorable Mr. Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq, the current Chief Justice of the High Court of Sikkim, and our chief guest for this special lecture. At the very outset, it is my honor and privilege to invite our faculty coordinator, ma'am, to formally welcome the gathering and set the tone for today's special lecture. Over to you, ma'am. And please unmute yourself.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. I'm Dr. Deepshikha, faculty at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National University. It's my honor to present welcome address today. Respected Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq, esteemed faculty members, coordinator, distinguished guests, dear students and participants. It gives me a deep sense of honor to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this online lecture on professional knowledge and practice of mediation, organized by Center for Conflict Management and Dispute Resolution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, National University, Sonipat. In today's evolving legal landscape, mediation has emerged not merely as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, but as a transformative tool for justice delivery, one that emphasizes dialogue, empathy, efficiency, and sustainability. We are deeply honored to have with us as our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice A. Muhammad Mushtaq, Judge High Court, Judge High Court of Sikkim, whose contribution to mediation, constitutional values, and human-centric justice has been truly inspiring. His Lordship's insights into mediation as a practice grounded in fairness, dignity, and access to justice will undoubtedly enrich our learning experience. I would also like to extend my sincere respect to Professor Dr. Devinder Singh, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, whose visionary leadership continues to strengthen an academic profession ethos to our university. I also acknowledge here Professor Dr. Ashutosh Mishra, Registrar and Patron, for this constant support and ADR initiative and scholarly engagement. Here, I would like to respectfully inform the audience and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Devinder Singh, and Registrar, Professor Dr. Ashutosh Mishra, are unable to join us today due to prior official engagement with Honorable Governor. They have conveyed their sincere gratitude and best wishes for the program and regret their inability to be present owing to unavoidable commitments. Thank you, and once again, welcome. And Sir, His Lordship, we appreciate your kind presence.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we proceed, allow me to briefly introduce our chief guest's inspiring journey. Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq is currently serving as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Sikkim. He is a former judge of the Honorable High Court of Kerala, widely respected for his progressive jurisprudence, commitment to judicial reforms, and pioneering work in mediation and alternative dispute resolution. He began his legal career as a trial lawyer and later practiced before the High Court of Kerala, where he developed significant expertise in civil litigation, arbitration, and mediation. His professional excellence led to his elevation as judge of the High Court in January 2014. Honorable Mr. Justice Mustaq brings with him an exceptional academic and international legal background and has undergone specialized training in complex civil litigation, mediation, negotiation, private international law, and intellectual property rights from globally reputed institutions, including International Bar Association, the Hague Academy of Law, and the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee of the Supreme Court of India. His Lordship has made outstanding contributions to legal scholarship, having authored several research papers and publications on this topic, online mediation, competition law, satellite law, and more, thereby bridging the gap between traditional law and modern legal practice. Justice Mustaq has been deeply associated with the Kerala State Mediation and Conciliation Center since its very inception. Under his leadership, mediation in Kerala evolved into a more efficient, accessible, and institutionalized system, reinforcing public confidence in ADR. And beyond mediation, Justice Mustaq has also been a national leader in judicial technology and court modernization as the chairman of the IT. His judicial legacy includes several landmark decisions in family law, women's rights, privacy, and access to justice. During his tenure, he disposed of nearly 50,000 cases, combining judicial efficiency with deep human sensitivity. Equally significant is his work as executive chairman of the Kerala State Legal Authority Services, where he introduced path breaking initiatives to promote legal awareness, victim rights, child protection, and student engagement with ADR and legal services. His lordship exemplifies the idea of a modern jurist, one who harmonizes adjudication, mediation, legal education, and institutional reform. With such an extraordinary professional legacy in dispute resolution and leadership, we are truly honored to have him with us today. Please join me in warmly welcoming Honorable Justice A. Mohammad Mustaq to deliver his special lecture on professional knowledge and practice of mediation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. First of all, I sincerely apologize for not being able to connect you to yesterday. Though I agreed to be at 2:30 due to pressing need, I could not reach back home. Currently, I'm at Cochin having my winter holidays until February 9th. First of all, thanks to your institute for inviting me to be the lecture on this mediation. Before proceeding further, I just want to know, you're all doing LLM or master's, or you are an undergraduate degree? Anyone can answer.
Sir, 16 students are from our ADR and mediation specialization, and rest are from UG who have shown their interest in mediation and these actually specialization.
You have LLM on ADR and mediation?
Sorry, I didn't get this question, Lordship.
So do you have a LLM in ADR?
Yes, sir. ADR and mediation. Yes, sir.
Very good. So that's 1 year program or 2 year program?
It's 1 year program, sir.
Okay. Well, I couldn't get the name of the person, the student who introduced the crowd. I would like to know your names. Center for
Sir, this is Dr. Deepshikha, Assistant Professor, and I'm also the Faculty Coordinator for CCMDR, Center for Conflict Management and Dispute Resolution.
You're part of Deepika is part of it. And who is that other young lady officer?
Good evening, sir. I'm Navya for CCMDR.
Navya.
Right.
Navya, I mean, she has begun, introducing me as a person who has a background in mediation. Of course, I'm the mediator. Of course, I also shown keen interest in satellite navigation. That was my academic interest. I wrote a couple of papers in satellite navigation. Navya also spoke mediation as a tool for can be used for dispute resolution and as alternative dispute resolution. And this is where I want to begin my lecture. Whether we can treat it as a tool, of course, it can be used as a tool, whether it's a tool or beyond the tool. Perhaps today we need to discuss on that because we are all living in India, the great Bharat, where mediation never been recognized as a tool, but it's a part of our approach to the life. So today, when we start treating it as a tool, is obvious reason that it is because of it's came to us today in a different form through the international instruments, negotiations, as a part of scheme for liberalized market, where the people who invest in the market wants to have a easiest dispute resolution. So they find it as a tool. For them, it's Western thought it is a tool. But for Indian tool, to treat it as a tool, we'll be doing a great disservice to our nation because the only country we can boast about mediation is our country and not any other country. So we have to keep that in mind, especially those who are doing their final year, LLM in this mediation program. I began my career as a lawyer way back in 1989, the first batch of 5-year student. I did LLB, then LLM in labor law, then masters in space and telecommunication law. In fact, I did masters in space and telecommunication only in the year 2005, I think 2006 and 7, much later in my life. There's obvious reason that there is a reason for taking up masters because I was a civil lawyer in trial court and high court. I always found there is something is missing in my life. World is around us. Is all undergoing a change, but nothing is happening in legal profession. So in 2005, I underwent a mediation training. A team from UK came down to Kerala and taught us the mediation. Basic, it's 4 days program. And that's the first time I realized beyond normal our life as a litigation lawyer, something else exists in the world. So that helped me to understand the world in a different perspective and different approach. I found that there is an ample scope for a lawyer to develop his litigation practice or any other practice beyond normal courtroom or other corporate works. This is how I joined the Master's in Space and Telecommunication. Thereafter, again, I was trained by NCPC when court mediation was introduced by Amendment of 89 in Salem Bar Association's case. So I got an opportunity that I was trained, I was asked to be a mediator. I trained as a mediator. Then I became a judge in 2014. From that onwards, I was a member of Kerala State Mediation Council and Center. Then I became a board president. Then, of course, when you move up in the ladder, you have to shift to some other role. Then I became a legal service authority chairman, where I could do many things in legal service, introducing many schemes, ideally based on the mediation process. This is how substance how I associate with the mediation. Now I'll just start with Navya's theory of tool. which I want to discredit in Indian
एक बार आ
context.
जाते
I
हैं इधर
don't
भाई
want us. I mean, wherever I go, I used to tell them,
ना उसका भाई ने
please
छोड़ दे
don't
तू आ जा
tell that mediation is a part of area. For us, an Indian, it is beyond area. So you need to go back in history and understand this issue. Because in history, always people have pondered about how to define justice. So many young students now are learning, you might have learned Greek philosophy, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, and the discussion they had. They all attempted to define what is a justice. So they came out with a solution as a virtue. So it is always a perplexed question for the history to define justice. I mean, how Bharat it is justice. I mean, it's not there was any attempt to define justice, but justice always emboldened in the idea of dharma. So in our culture, it is dharma and adharma. So people could follow what is the justice. Then came the Abrahamic religion, Jews, Christianity, and Islam. They always try to define justice in terms of what
ऐसा
God
कंप्यूटर था
Almighty
होगा
dictates,
उसने खोल
what
ली
divine
खाली सीपीयू
dictates.
खाली है उधर सर के साथ
Then
चले
people
जाएंगे
understood
खाली सीपीयू
justice
लिया यार
means what
एक घंटे की
God's
जरूरत है
commands, what one can do and what cannot do. So that kind of theory, I mean, was that kind of idea of justice. Of course, it was followed in many European countries, but in 1200 there was an attempt where the king and the role of there was friction. Then idea of then Magna Carta came into being. But if you look at the history closely, from 16th century, I mean, until on the collapse of Roman Empire, it is basically rejecting theocratic state. The 16th century, you can find all philosophy now we followed in this world, which leading to the constitution came into existence. If you look at the social contract theory of, if you look at the theory proponent John Mills, the Bentham, many likely to study, many who are now undergoing the 16 students who are now doing LLM better. All this in the natural principles and based on reasoning, human reasoning, Kant's reasoning. So many philosophers attempt to define justice in a natural theory place. That means they have not identified the justice with the divine authority, but they want to define justice based on certain principles of natural reasonings. So this is how the French established the constitution-based the state, the sovereign state. As per Westphalia Treaty, they established Westphalia Treaty. The idea of secularism came into being known after around the 16th century. All these theories came to define what should be the law, what should be the justice. So they disassociated the divinity and have never associated. They understood is a something, the law and justice, something an external human being to maintain the relationship among them or relationship with the state. Now, now the centuries moved on. The many law came into existence. Then is of course the market economy. Of course, Adam Smith spoke about long back about market economy, but it is realized only in recent past when the GATT and WTO all decided to open up their market and bundle network cross-border transaction. It is only to create a market economy. That is how the liberalization. Many youngsters may not know because you are all born after 90s. We all know, maybe your Professor Divik also, all we are all born, I mean, much before the market is opened. So we know the circumstances on which we live. So in market economy, the interest of the market giants is to always protect their economic interest. So they start devising many tools to protect. So they have created a model law. If you look at the Information Technology Act, it is not made by our parliament, but it's made somewhere else in a super norms. If you look at the Arbitration Conciliation Act 1996, all it is based on international understanding. So they want to have a kind of resolution of the disputes in most expedient manner. And as a part of it, they have introduced mediation. This is how the amendment came into Civil Procedure Code. Thereafter, there was a challenge, Salem Bar Association, and there were, of course, I need not take into those part. Then what manner we should adopt as mediation as a dispute resolution mechanism, all been decided through the judgments of Supreme Court, defining the Section 89 of Civil Procedure. So as of now, we follow in India the mediation as a tool for dispute resolution. In dispute resolution, if any matter is settled in mediation, it is having a value of compromise. It's like any other contract. It cannot be enforced except when such matters are resolved in a dispute before a court annexed mediation. And court annexed mediation, compromise is sent back to the court, and court endorse its stamp and approval. Once that court approves, it becomes like a compromise decree. This is how now mediation is being practiced in India. So there are court annexed mediation across the country, and all court complex having a mediation center. The cases are referred to mediation, and from there, mediator resolve the disputes. If not resolved, it will be sent back, not settled. That is all you will record. Once it is resolved, parties will draw a compromise and put their signature. The mediator will append his report that matter is compromised, and court will look at the agreement. If it is something where court can pass a decree, court will approve and endorse and pass a decree. It is any other compromise decree, it can be executed. But there are private mediation in our country. Parties enter into compromise, and there is no court involved. In those matters, it is only having a value of a contract. Now, what a third method being adopted in our country, especially I know that personally because I'm the chairman of Legal Service Authority. Legal Service Authority is a statutory body created under the Legal Service Act 1897, where it permits pre-litigations and permits holding adalat. So what we do in Kerala and other places, if parties approach the District Legal Service Authority or Taluk Legal Service Authority or State Service Authority, matter will be referred to mediator if they have some schemes. And that schemes, if the party is settled, then they will hold a adalat, where a judicial officer will be a member, an advocate will be a member, and a social worker. This adalat will pass an award. It is as good as a decree passed by the civil court. So we have understood the three features of a mediation followed in India. One, court annexed mediation, where court pass a compromise decree. Second, private mediation, where it's only a compromise. Once a matter is settled in a mediation, it was only having a validity of a contract, which is enforceable under law. The third is type of offered through a pre-litigation by Legal Service Authority, where such a compromise is entered. This compromise will be accepted as by the Adalat to pass a Adalat award, which is having a binding effect under Section 21 of Legal Service Authority Act, and it can be executed as a decree. So these are the three kinds of method being followed. No doubt, under Mediation Act, there are revolutionary changes, but all these provisions are yet to be notified. Now come back to the core issue, which Navya says it's a truth, where I want to have a difference of opinion. According to me, in Indian context, you cannot call mediation as a truth. Why? In India, in the past, the traditional society even continued to be a religious society where the issues and life are not separable. So people, the the kind of approach now we accept because of the fact we follow Anglo-Saxon jurisprudence. In adversarial litigations, they detach everything from individuals. They made up procedures, civil procedures, code and other procedures, where you elicit truth through the evidence. Evidence necessarily not be true, but that is being considered as a truth in the court. It is relying on that procedure. The format and procedures are become more important than the truth in adversarial litigations. We do not follow inquisitorial model, but we follow adversarial litigation. In that procedure, the Evidence Act, the criminal procedure or civil procedure code, it ordains certain prescribed procedure to induce evidence, and court relies on it. So it is, though it's called as a truth finding, actually it is not truth finding. Sometimes it may contain truth, sometimes it may not be truth. In that process, a third-party decision maker decides on adjudication and pass the verdict. So our entire culture is now surrounded by that environment. Actually, this something is
उस दिन मुझे भी कह रहे थे
imposed
मेरे
through
पीसी
the
का भी कुछ
Western
करना है ना
thoughts. Now look at Indian thoughts. You might have heard in Kurukshetra war, the Krishna's
जाला
role.
कितना है
We try to identify Lord Krishna's
तुम
role
इतने
as a
साल से
mediator.
नीचे ही करते
Actually,
थे
Lord Krishna was not acting as a
साफ सफाई
mediator.
होगा,
Though
वर्ड इन
we,
क्या
for
ढूंढ
the
रहा है तो
sake
वर्ड
of
डालना
understand the
काम
mediation,
करेगा
we often cite this
इंडस्ट्री में बहुत
illustration.
सारा हुआ है तो
Krishna's
इसमें
role
धोने होते हैं
it is actually to convey the other side. Kauravas and Pandavas, in their war path, they have different opinion. Krishna is actually attempting to uphold
पता
dharma,
नहीं
the
20
ultimate
ये थे
truth.
तब मेरे ख्याल से ये 20 होंगे है ना यूनिवर्सिटी में
So, Indian tradition, if you look at the history, we
और एक
never
छोटे
had
छोटे
such
थे
a
उससे
procedure,
खेलने
but
वाले जो
actually
उसमें
चार
a
पांच हुए
old
थे
village model system or any other clan or any other traders,
चिल्ड्रन के पास होते थे
they
हाँ
respect someone who stand for the truth and they allow the parties to
पता
communicate
चला
and
कितनी
resolve
आई
the
हो
disputes.
अपडेशन तो
Their approach is
प्रोग्राम
actually is to uphold truth.
ये कहाँ से निकाल
So
रहा है
Indian culture,
ये
the
कलर है
issues in life and life
यूज
are
पता
not
प्रिया
separable,
भाई
but
ये
same are part of a
ये अभी
continuum.
प्रिया मैडम ये कहाँ से
And
ले
they
प्रिया
stood for those
चित्रांग
values. It is that value-based approach
प्रिया मैडम को आना उसमें डाल दिया
reflected in
उन्होंने
every walk.
इसमें
So
कमेटी
today,
में
what we need a
कमेटी
mediation
में
is not
अकाउंट्स
as a
कमेटी में
truth,
कोर्स
but
कमेटी
as
में
a
कमेटी
value
में नहीं
to be
मैं कमेटी
followed, a
हूँ
cultural value to be followed
कोर्स कमेटी
everyone,
में
their approach.
ठीक
Their
है
professor in
प्रिया
relation
तो
to his teacher,
क्या
the teacher,
प्रिया तो
sorry,
कमेटी में
student
कमेटी
with
का
the
किसने बताया
teacher,
आपको
a doctor with the
कमेटी में
patient.
नहीं सारा रिकॉर्ड बना के देना है आपको सर
Whoever, I mean, whatever the relationship,
1 फरवरी कब तक है
father and
कौन सी
son,
1 फरवरी
father and daughter,
अच्छा 19 से
husband
लेके
and
अब
wife,
तक का
all
जबकि
of
आप
them
थे नहीं
need to
वहाँ
know
पे
this value. What is this
गर्ल्स
value?
हॉस्टल
हॉस्टल कैश बुक
This is
जब आप
the
वहाँ पे थे
value is
नहीं आपके आने
simple.
के बाद तो
Stand for the
बहुत सारी
dharma,
पेमेंट होगी बाद में
the
अभी
ultimate truth.
बात हुई थी
How this is achieved? The two factors which often we impart in
तो
mediation
कैसा वो
process. One is
मैं
communication,
ब्रांच में आऊंगी तो
and
मैं
the
ही
other is
और
empathy.
एनएस में भी तो मैं ही से पकड़ रही
These
थी
are the two things you will learn
मैडम
while
आपको ठंड लग
I don't
रही
know
है
whether any mediation training has been imparted to you.
हाँ?
You will come to know what is the importance of
मेरे को
communication,
लगा
what
के
is the importance of
आपको ठंड लग रही है
the
मैं पंखा ही बंद कर दूं क्या पता हवा दे रहा भी है
so why there is a dispute? What is the reason for the
तू
dispute?
क्या लिख के देगी मैडम
It is
अब मैं अपनी ब्रांच
basically
हेड को लिख
human
के
mind
मीटिंग पे
and works
कि
and
मेरे को
operate
रिलीव
in
किया
different
जाए
varied
ताकि मैं
circumstances.
अकाउंट्स का काम कर पाऊँ
His upbringing
बर्थडे भी
matters,
मैं
cultural
अपनी डायरेक्शंस के
outlook
लिए
matters,
पर मैं सोच रही हूँ पहले किसी
perspective
में नो
changes.
वर्बली
You must
नहीं तो फिर वो यही
watch
बोलते कि
a
पहले
movie,
फाइल
a
की बुला लो।
Japanese movie called
बेसिकली
Rashman.
तो स्टाफ से
It's
दोनों
a
दोनों इकट्ठी तो बैठे
something
होते हैं,
to
तुम
relate to
देखते हैं फिर
psychology.
बैठे हुए
Rashman is
आज
a
रजिस्ट्रार
movie
भी गया ना।
गया वो
where
गले 3
a
बजे गया
witness,
हाँ
a couple of
3 बजे चला
witnesses
गया।
who witnessed an incident across the
5 दिन ये
their
गए,
perspective,
27 तारीख को आना है,
but it is
27 से फिर 5
entirely
दिन रह जाएंगे
different
1
from
फरवरी
each
को। जब इनको 5
witnesses
साल में नहीं
speaks
बना,
about. They are not
10 दिन
lying
में
it.
कैसे बना दूंगी?
Why they
और
are
अकेला मेरा क्यों
speaking
डाल रहा है?
differently?
मेरे को तो
Because they are
अंडर
conditioned by their own
27 को कैसे आना है?
perceptions.
मंडे तक छुट्टी है ना,
This is how
पर
the
कल
dispute
आके फिर मंडे तक
arises.
छुट्टी है।
मंडे तक
Human
छुट्टी
mind
है ना,
always
तब
have a
निर्मला
problem
होगी।
because they're conditioned by their own preordained or whatever information
गाने
already
बज
is
जाना
fixed
नटाना
in their
पड़ेगा।
mind, their circumstances.
नक्शी
All
गाने
this
बजा ले।
allow human being judgmental or opinionated to ultimately express his views. This is how we have so much of difference of opinion in our country because of varied circumstances. The mediation is a platform, or if it embraced as a
फॉर्मेट
value, will
नहीं तो
allow
कितना
one to
फॉर्मेट
understand the perspective of other
अब मतलब जिस टाइम मैं हॉस्टल में
through
थी वो
medium of communication.
यार जब हॉस्टल की
This is
डीलिंग ही
how
नहीं थी अकाउंट से कुछ करने
the
की, तो
mediation
क्यों बनाएंगे
works
हम लोग? क्योंकि
as a
जतिन को
strategy
सेट
in
कर तो
dispute
रखा था 1.5
resolution.
साल। जतिन क्या करके
A
गया?
mediator initially would start with the opening remarks. He would
F1 में मेरा अपने
explain
ग्रुप है,
to
और हम
me
एक बच्चे ने
how
तो
the
सारा
mediator
काम
works
कर
and will break the ice and will allow parties to speak from what is the bottom of their heart. Then slowly they develop a rapport with the mediator, the
तू
parties.
कह रहा है तो मैं भी नहीं था यहाँ पे, मैं
Then
भी बात
mediator
करता।
slowly will
तू
guide
आ रहा था इसलिए
and
भी करते थे।
allow the parties
हाँ
to
तू नहीं था
again
तो कर रहा है, अब
clarify
वही
each
तो
of
चीज है ना,
their
जो
views.
लास्ट में वही करेगा।
So
पर इनकी तो
the
बलवंतरी हो
ultimately
सकती है ना,
people and both
वर्षा और
parties
पौल को देना चाहिए था,
will
मुझे
be
मेरे
in
को
a
भी दे रही है।
position to
इसको तो ब्रांच
understand the perspective of other. It is not like a mere negotiation. It is
है
beyond
नहीं बैठी, अब तो
negotiation.
मैं बता ही देती हूँ।
Understanding the inner conscious of a person. It is because of the fact that we seldom communicate. It results in the conflict.
इसमें नहीं होता है अटेंडेंस का
So
है।
some sort of
इसमें
psychological
होता है पर
intent
पता
is
नहीं क्यों नहीं आ रहा है।
existing.
एडमिन से ही
Of
कर
course,
रखा
we
ना
are
मैं
all
ज्वाइन,
trained as a mediator,
और
not into
बनाई हुई एडमिन से ही
psychology.
है।
हाँ
But
उसमें
we
तो आ
do
रही
our
है कि
best
सेटिंग
because
में
we have
जाके
seen the
होस्ट
life,
सेटिंग की ऑप्शन
we
है,
have
और होस्ट
experienced
सेटिंग
it.
पे
ये रहा
जाके
होस्ट सेटिंग।
We try to
होस्ट
bring
सेटिंग तो इधर है ना। ये
solutions
रही होस्ट
to
बताओ।
understand and
हाँ,
bringing the
होस्ट
parties
कंट्रोल
to
में ही आता
understand
है।
each other's perspective. This is how the mediators resolve the disputes. Now, if in an Indian context, if you take the mediation
Yeah.
grassroots level, it is become a tool to prevent a dispute being escalated to a level
सही से आ रही थी।
reaching court or in any other manner. We don't
आ
require
रही है।
dispute resolution
यूट्यूब पे देखो।
because people will be capable to resolve this dispute. If at all it is required in some sort of it can be as a strategic, can be used as a strategic approach by corporate or wherever you are. So today, when we speak about mediation, we need to identify the mediation is as a value, a cultural value and approach for all of us. It not necessarily should identify the mediation with the normal court adjudicatory process. That is possible. No doubt it will help to resolve those disputes. But you need to take mediation beyond that structure of the court and make it as a value for people to embrace and reflect in their day-to-day contact or building relationships with others. So if you are land up your job in corporate, it becomes a strategic tool for you. It's not can be used as a dispute prevention mechanism. It can be used as a strategic to develop a business. It can be used as a tool for dispute resolution. It can be used as enhance the value of the organization. Because in all relationship, your outlook this will reflect your outlook, and that brings actually the the esteem of that institution or organization. So we need to focus mediation in India not as a dispute resolution. No doubt it can be used as a dispute resolution because Indian system, Indian culture and society still hold high value for the relationship, social relationship, cultural relationship. Continue to be a religious society. In that, it can have different dimensions. If you look at the many of this family dispute arises, it is not for its obvious reason, because we do not embrace this value because we fail to understand the perspective of others because of lack of proper communications. So you can compartmentalize the mediation. One, strategically for all social and cultural life, whatever wherever you are. And other, of course, as a tool in dispute resolutions. Maybe in a commercial disputes or in a IPR disputes or some other banking disputes. You can ask this tool, but the rest of it, more of a strategy and as an embrace as a value to build a relationship. When I undergone as a training in mediation, I transformed myself as a person. I used to take up all the cases comes to me, whether it be family dispute or other matters. I still remember when in 2006, I'll give you an example how I settled a dispute. A corporate manager came to me for filing a divorce case. I dissuaded because I already trained it. I said, I'll speak to your wife. Maybe the first time a person is hearing that the lawyer of his own lawyer wants to speak to the other side. Then I called her. She was traveling to Hyderabad. Still remember, I was in Kochi. Then she said, after marriage, I'll come down and speak to you. So their family was quite embarrassed. Why a lawyer of other side is calling? So then I sat with them on Sunday. I conversed with them. Again, it was postponed another Sunday. I spent nearly 4 hours in a day. Ultimately, a settlement arrived. They decided to live together. Then there was a problem. Husband said, I will not allow wife to work. She was working somewhere as a physiotherapy or some other. I said, I will not allow my wife to work. She insisted that I want to go for work. I absolutely, I cannot accept the suggestions. Of her husband. So that was a conundrum for me. That called impasse. You come to know in mediation process. This would be against an impasse. So this is where the skill of a mediator need to be demonstrated. So I asked both, will you accept my advice? Both agreed, readily agreed. Because by the time they develop a rapport with me, it's called like a Stockholm syndrome. Once you start talking to someone, you slowly would develop affinity or kind of good feeling with the other person. So both readily agreed. I said, I'll make my opinion after 1 month. Please go and stay together. I didn't express any my opinion. I know that if they can live 1 month together, they will decide for themselves. If they can't, they will separate. This is how I resolved. They lived happily together. They never came back. Later, I came to know, the lady delivered a baby. So this is how we resolved.
हौजी सर
Impasse,
भाई
when
वो
reached
काम
in the
कर
impasse position, you must be in a position
वो
to.
पाया कौन है यार
That's
कितने
where
वो
your
कौन सा
skills
ईव डाल रखा साइट पर ईव के सीन डाल
to be
रखा
exhibited.
कौन सा डाल रखा है
दुकान
There are
open
many
कर
deadlocks would arise. I still remember I was again
हाँ
reading
भाई
the family roster in Kerala High Court. And a lady was living in
फिर
UK
उस तरह ने ना दिखाई गया ना 8 तारीख का
and
बुक
they
होया हुआ है
separated
5
from
6
her
का बुक होया उनको ना
husband for 3.5 years. The matter was brought before us in a
क्या दिन हो गया
custody
आज
case.
21 तारीख होगी
They were quite belligerent in the courtroom because I used to summon.
क्या डाल रखा है?
Then I asked the wife, why, what is your problem? She said, very candidly
ना
told me,
ईद
it
लाग
is
रहा है
because of
हमने तो
husband
देना है
constructed
इसका
a house in his name and his father's name
ना
without consulting her. That was something annoyed her.
पक्का
That was reason for separation. Then I asked
ठीक है
her as
शुक्रवार में
the
छुट्टी है
husband, why
शुक्रवार
did you
में लो
construct in the name of your father? Why you are not chosen to
आवाज जब भी बढ़वा
construct
दिया
house
मैं
in the
काफी
name of
काट के
mine?
बाहर करती हूँ
His answer is simple. My father is paying hefty income tax. I need to have a loan
डबू
for
को
this
ज्यादा
house
डबू करा
construction.
दूंगा
That is the reason I roped in his name. The first time the wife come to know about the reasons for construction of the house
चल कोई ना मैं करवा दूंगा
in the name of
फोन
father as
फोन
well.
ना देना है इनका
So
फोन
I
आवा
asked
तो
both,
बढ़वाए ना ले
okay, anyway, the husband has constructed a new house. Why don't you stay for 1 week and come back? That was kind of risk we have taken at that time. They went and stayed together. After 1 week, they came back. I still remember they were crying
क्या
crying
देखा था ना?
before me. So they loved their new house. They still live together, maybe happily living some UK or some other place. So this is how the magic would happen. No court can pass such an order in such matters. Court will always focus on the rights and obligations of parties. We
ना
don't
है
look at the inside
आधा
of
पेज
real
की
stories.
डिटेल काट के दे मुझे
Every court case, what is projected is based on the legal premise, not
किस चीज
on
का
the
था ये?
based on the actual interest.
कंटेनर शॉप ऑप्शन था
So a lawyer is supposed to formulate his pleading is based on the legal ground, not based on the actual matters. So truth becomes evasive
So
in
friend,
courtrooms.
ये किसका?
Truth become a reality
ये
in the
शॉप प्रिंट
mediation.
आ रहा है इसमें
In the mediation,
पद की बात है, किसकी
actual
बात है ये?
reasons for the dispute
टेंडर 21 में
will be known to each other.
इसमें खोल लिया
Of course, in the court annexed mediation, whatever the disclosed in the mediation process simply become a private, and it cannot be disclosed in a court even by the mediator or the
ये
parties. And court
सैलून
will not
लेडीज कन्फेक्शनरी ये
accept
करते थे
that evidence is admissible.
कैंटीन सेपरेटर या ये चाहिए
In
ये
the mediation process,
ये चाहिए
actual interest of the parties is protected, and both the mediator also try to balance interest of both, often to protect the interest of the both. In courtroom, it is interest of one party is sustained, and that too based on the law.
18,400 आया है आप अप्लाई करते दोबारा
केवल 18,400 आया है
So again, I want to tell you
भाई
the
21
Indian
का ऑनलाइन
culture,
पढ़ा था वो भेजना तेरे पास
the value it has been embraced as a value.
ना नया
And
नहीं
if you look at the
निकाला
Buddhist text, Vinayaka Pitka, and
नए कितारे
the
हैं
name of the text in James, they also
मैंने
recognize
एक बार देख के
the
देखा है उसका
एक बल्ले भाई का बताइए एक बल्ले
principles of mediation. Principles
क्या
of
देखा भाई?
mediation to be followed. In Holy Quran, in 2 chapters,
हाँ
Al-Hujarat and another
तो
surah,
शॉप
another
समय
chapter
8 नंबर
also
शॉप है
refers for the conciliation. So that in all the religious texts or other texts,
अरे ये पहले के ये डर थे ये थे हैं
Manusmriti, of course, it is
ये चीज ये तो बहुत पहले की थी भाई ये
referred in many other places. The mediation has been referred as a mechanism to resolve the disputes. It is exists in our culture. It is not foreign.
हाँ देख लिया मैंने भाई जहाँ ये
It's
लग रही
part
है
of our tradition.
एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है
So we
show
need to
option
define
है
mediation in Indian context in different level and cannot
ये
simply
पहले कभी कहा भाई
embrace
अब कई बार
the
नहीं
Western
बहुत
thought,
पुराना है तो
which we, if we
हाँ
nothing
अभी भी
wrong
नहीं
with
है
the Western approach, but that can be used only
नहीं
in
नहीं अभी
certain
कुछ नहीं है
category of cases. Like as I earlier said,
ठीक
like commercial
हाँ भाई
disputes, IPR disputes, or some other dispute
हाँ
where
वो पीडीएफ
it does not have any personal ramification on the individuals who are disputants. Have you all undergone any training in mediation?
पेंटिंग का निकाल लेंगे क्या ये
निकालना पड़ेगा मजबूरी है Canteen salani नहीं है ना.
Maybe we'll make arrangement for training for all of you. I'll ask there is a IAM teams here. I'll ask them to give a training, proper training, or
इन
maybe
शायद
it is
मतलब
possible
मेरी वो
for us
कॉल
to
देख लिया.
arrange some training
ना
here.
ये रिकॉर्डिंग पे लगा रखा
So they can
We
have.
will appreciate, sir. We will appreciate that, and we will contact the authorities for this particular
I
training.
think it requires at least 4 days minimum. I think they
Okay,
have a
sir.
40 hours training. So I will ask Mr. Anil Xavier. Maybe you can, I'll ask to be in touch with you, so they can arrange training for you there.
Perfect, sir.
Because you will come to know what is exactly mediation only through the process. It's like a teaching swimming. Whatever the lecture I give, like giving a lecture for swimming. You need to learn swimming only by actual swimming.
Yes.
So we need to know about it. I'll speak to him today itself. Deepshika, you can give. You do have my number.
I have Avinash number, sir. Actually.
Take note my number.
Okay, sir.
944
Yes, sir.
944
Ji, sir.
600
Yes, sir.
3026.
3026. Perfect, sir.
So I'll see that they come over there, teach. I mean, they're good. Actually, they are the best trainers in the country.
Really appreciate the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
LLM students may require that because they are focusing in area.
Yes, sir.
Now I have structured. I'll give you some illustration. Of course, I taken you to generally about what is happening in the mediation, how it is happening, and some philosophy based on our traditions, which I often find that is ignored whenever we talk about mediation. We cannot ignore because it should be treated as our culture and part of our value. It is not that it should be only organized. It is only be important for lawyers and others. Everyone should know about mediation. So I, as a
खत्म
chairman
होना
of
हो रहा है ये
Legal
उनका
Service Authority, I
टाइम
introduced
जगह
a
चल
scheme
रहा है
called
लेक्चर
Samvada.
आर्डर
Samvada's idea is to
OTP
catch
वाला
young
कौन सा
minds, students from 8th standard, 12th
था
standard.
दिन में निकल गई
They come to court for a
एक
guided
कॉफी पी
tour
लेंगे इसी में
where I have a team of professionals. They teach them importance of
ये तो कति
communications
उसमें
and
ले लिए
empathy.
एप्पल
These
वाले
are two elements actually core value of the mediation.
प्लस का दिया लोड
So
फाइल
they should
हाँ
बड़ी
they are
स्क्रीन में
trained
अच्छा
in
8 की में
communication.
है
We
ये
give
6.8
a lot of
ये
emphasis on the
कितना बड़ा
communication. The communication itself is a medium which would resolve the many of the
6.5 है
disputes.
मेरा न्यूज़ लाइव
So empathy is something is to
6.8
understand
का
the
है
perspective of others.
पे आठ का
Again,
पता
I
नहीं
would
सात
ask
का
you, each students, go and
6
see
7
that Roshman may be available in YouTube or some other place. It's an old Japanese movie. How a
ये
witness is
अलग
giving
ले
a
थे क्योंकि मेरे वाला
different
ये चल
accounts of one incident based on their own perspective,
वो क्या
conditioned
मेरा
by
गिर
their
गया
own
यार मैं पढ़ पाई
perceptions. So
किसी
that means truth sometimes
इसी
is
ये थी वो
far,
भी चेंज कर दी
though
कति
witnesses are
मूवी
speaking
होती
truth, but still
पर
it
मेरे
चलो
वाले
इसके एक
contains
यो यो
something
कट्टू
plus
मोटा
some
था
errors. So it is it's a heart and skill of the mediator to elicit the truth, uh, to understand the real nature of the incident. The Samvada, through the Samvada, the young kids are now imparted the skills of mediations. Though don't we don't tell
आटा की
them
नई
it's a
गाड़ी आ
mediation
गई भाई पंच
experts.
बदल दी
We
सारी
used to guide
बढ़िया
them
दी
on
थी
this. And second, couple of schemes I introduced in Kerala is Harmony Hub,
हाँ हाँ वही
where
तो
the people
अरे
can walk in
पहले से बहुत बदल गई भाई
to
बदल दी
the
लोग
सारी
सारा
District Legal
बैग
Service
बदल दिया
Authority.
सारा
If
जो
there is a
बैग
दुनिया
नहीं
problem,
खत्म
they
करंट
feel there
करंट
is some
भी बदल
issues
दिया
in relationship, and matter will be
कनेक्शन
referred to the
का वो
mediator,
दे
who is a
दिया टच
lawyer,
दे
who is a trained mediator, and they resolve. Once that is resolved, let's come back to
इधर
the
मेरा भी लेना जी
Adalat,
कर गया
and they will
कौन
pass it as now. Similarly, another call is
साढ़े
Samyam.
पाँच
Samyam is a
की
scheme
बेस मॉडल आया है साढ़े
for the
पाँच में
people.
फिर
Most
वो
people
साढ़े
do
छः का
not
पड़ा है
approach
मतलब सीधे
to the a lawyer because they
छः
feel
क्या
that
साठ का
सारा
honestly
मॉडल
they're
तेरा
quite
नहीं है
expensive and
बैटरी
may not be possible. And they also find lawyers
डेली अप
cannot
डाउन में ठीक काम दे देगा
वन प्लस 15 आ गया
give them
देख
a justice, and everybody is
साइड
now
पे
the
ये मेरी
impression whatever the
अच्छा
matters uh, is, it's a lawyer's
ये दिया है
advantage,
एप्पल
not
का
for their advantage.
कितनी है
So what I did in Kerala, it's like scheme called Samay. Normally, such people will walk
नहीं
into a
पाऊंगा
police station with a
50-60
complaint.
हजार लगाता हूँ
What I directed, all with the concurrence of police chief, all such cases should be referred to DLSA, the District Legal Service Authority, and District
ठीक
Legal
से
Service
बना देगा ये
Authority
ठीक ही
will
संभाल
refer the
देगा
matter to a media, allocate a matter to mediator.
Super
Mediator
bun
will
जाएगा
act and
सारे
resolve the
करते हैं
disputes,
गंजा
and
गंजा
thereafter award will be passed.
झूठा
Mediation
लाइक
should
होगा
be
गंदा करण भाई
कैसा
extended
कैसा
to
अंतर है
grassroots
देख
level
लो भाई मैं
to reach out the people
देखिए
who have
चमका
no
दिया
other voice or who have no
हमारी
access, who are not
बॉम्ब
otherwise connected to system. Maybe my attempt, I did a lot of research for connecting people through the medium of technology. Maybe all youngsters think about tomorrow how the technology can be used to mediate the disputes. It is easily possible. There are now many ODR platforms in our country, private
ये रखते हैं
ODRs.
बंदा
They conduct mediation and resolve the dispute through online medium, technology based. There's plenty of opportunity for you to work on the
इतने
mediation.
साल तो नहीं समझ कदे चले
Don't
गए
think the
कई उम्र
mediation
साथ
is
नु
only
रह
good
रहा
for dispute
कटवाएगी
resolution, which actually reaches a court or similar time.
बाबा ये भी नहीं
The
हो
mediation can be used in a
राख
different way
बस नहीं मसलन
once we are
क्या
able to
और बन्नू बात बनाने
comprehend
लग
mediation is a value. That value need to be
नहीं
reflected
बाबा ये
upon
नहीं हो
whatever the relationship we build.
ये इतना करे रहे हो
Not necessarily many of
आज
you
फिर
will
कॉफी
land up
पीवांगे
in
उड़े
litigation
चलता रहा
practice. You may go and land up your job with a corporate where you can have a structuring the business relationship. Corporate manager initially may be not inclined,
कुछ
but
ना स्पीड है
if you understand you are properly, you are a strategic, you
हो
have
जा लिए इनका
a concept
सारे ये
or
ढंग का मांग रहे हैं
you
भी
are
ना बोल बोल गए इनका
competent to
साफ
handle
सफाई करो इसकी
issues or prevent
जब जाके
issues
काम
being
फैन की
escalated as a
स्पीड नहीं
dispute.
है
सारी एसएसडी बदलनी पड़ेगी इनकी
Structuring negotiation,
रैम अपग्रेड
all
करनी
this is
पड़ेगी खर्चा
possible
है ना
if you are
कुछ ना
properly
खर्चा
trained in
खर्चा हो गया
mediation.
है ये वो मोटा
So
खर्चा
you
दिखा
become a
गया
strategist rather than
अभी इसका वो
dispute
डेप्रिसिएशन
resolver.
वैल्यू जीरो दिखा गया
So plenty
जीरो
of
तो हो रही है 5
opportunity
साल के बाद
exists in
जीरो
this
है
world.
5 साल
What
से
manner
अरे न
and
रिजेक्ट
how
मार दे
it's all left to individually
ऑप्शन
for you
करवा
to
दे इनका
devise. Only my appeal to you,
ये बोली
don't walk down
ऑप्शन
with
में
an
चले
idea
जाएंगे
that
या कुछ
mediation is only
वैसे कोई
a
वैल्यू नहीं है
tool for dispute resolution. You need to think mediation whatever way you can, and that would be
सुनना तो बतेरा वो
something which the charge you can own it up as a develop the
फिर सामने की जगह
bring
ही
it to the
चांदी ना
country.
लेगी पहले आईसी आ गई ये
Because
कन ही आया
I
ये
see that
गोल्डन
most
आया
of the students,
ये
the
भी
moment
चांदी
they
की
step out law schools, they either land up with the office of a
फोन
lawyer,
मतलब कि
mediation
बंदे
lawyer,
सोने का
or
कर रहे
land
हैं
up with the corporate.
फोन ना
They
बताए
do the
छोटे फोन
stereotype work.
छोटे फोन ना बताए
कैसे यार ऐसे ही है
It is easy to
इसी
travel
यहाँ
through
पे
beaten path,
जो
but
WHM है ना उसका
it
पासवर्ड
is
वही चल रहा है उसके टाइम
big
का
challenge for all of us to create our own space
बदल दो ना फिर उसका क्यों नहीं बदल रहे हैं
and make it
बस कुछ
different.
मैं भूली बैठी थी कि WHM भी कुछ होता है
डब्ल्यूएचएम भी कुछ होता है ना
और वहां से सीपीएन लॉगिन
I
हो
must
जाता
tell
है
you
हाँ
one
वो
thing,
ऑटोमेटिक होता है वहाँ से
in the era of technology,
पासवर्ड चेंज करो
your knowledge become a
दोनों का
secondary.
वो दोनों लॉगिन
Your
हुआ है
success is
डब्ल्यूएचएम के
based
बाद
on
सी पैनल चल
how
रहा है
competent you are
मास्टर तो डब्ल्यूएचएम है ना
in generating ideas.
और मास्टर ने बोले बैठे
मास्टर ने बोले बैठ के
We live in
पढ़ाई
an
कौन
era
कराएगा
where
आपको
we thought
पर
knowledge is a
वो तो
supreme,
दिमाग बंद कर देते हैं ना अब मैं
and that
वेबसाइट
would
पे थोड़ा
empower.
बहुत
No
देखने लग रही अब
knowledge
उसमें
would
अकाउंट
empower.
वाला पेपर गिर दिया मेरे
But you living in an era, knowledge becomes secondary, ideas
कितना
become
एक एक को सामने ला के
the
खड़ा करूँ मार
primary
देगी
thing and prominent.
पक्का
I'll give an
आज गेट के
example
बाहर
of
खड़ा
how
होता हूँ तू
Steve
गया
Jobs made the difference in this world. About Steve Jobs,
ये सही है बोरा भी
गेट के अंदर नहीं
what
गेट के
difference
बाहर
he made.
कलर देख के दिया है गाड़ी का
कलर
Internet was existing,
सारे बढ़िया
वाइट बढ़िया है हाँ
fonts
बढ़िया
were in
हमारी
existence,
बदल दो
but he converts
ये भी
everything
पंच
into
देंगे
one platform through the
हाँ
ideas.
पुरानी बड़ी
That's why we call it smartphone.
सेफ्टी भी बढ़ी
सेफ्टी
6 ईयर बैग आ गए डिजिटल से
How the air will be without a single
और
साढ़े 7 लाख रुपए में
building or operates across the world. All building
ट्रबो में
exist,
वैसे
all
आ
the
गई
large
ट्रबो में
hotels exist.
बन
They created, like Uber created,
अब हम
owning an
You
automaker,
can
they
see the
created a platform.
अमेरिका में यूं सोच रहे यार
all these automobiles,
ऐसा
the
नहीं है।
taxis. Now it's conversion this platform.
नहीं
They create only
हाइब्रिड में आने
platform. They've revolutionized.
अपडेट तो
So
रखनी
for
पड़ती है
you,
यार।
the challenge is creating ideas,
होंडा सिटी हाइब्रिड में आएगी ना 28 की
novel
माइलेज है।
thoughts.
क्या बच्चा है?
इसकी
तो बंदा है।
होंडा सिटी पेट्रोल हाइब्रिड
We
जो
can make a lot of difference in that world.
अभी यहाँ नहीं आई है
The success
होंडा सिटी जो इसने ली
is
जो सुंदर ने ली थी
all related
उल्टी
how
चली गई
how competent, how
आई थी स्पोर्ट्स
able
में
you are in
ले ली
generating
जसविंदर ने
ideas.
फिर यूं आ गया कि उसके उसमें नहीं आती रिव्यू में नहीं आती
We live in
रेस्ट
an
आ
era
गए
where
वो आपसे खड़ी कर दी
knowledge is something is
कंपनी वाले टाले
we all looked upon.
सरकारी निकलवा
That
दी
made the difference
होंडा सिटी
because
गजब दे
it is
रखी है पर वही चीज है
we
भाई
just
अब
forget to
ऑटोमेटिक
be
में
proud
हाइब्रिड
of our
में आवे जी
predecessors. But
ऑटोमेटिक
for
में
you,
है
it is not.
होंडा अकॉर्ड और
You
होंडा
have to
सिटी
move
तो
out
हाइब्रिड में आ चुकी हैं
from the
और यूं नहीं है वो चलती हैं 80 की स्पीड तक बैटरी पे
four corners of platforms where
80 की स्पीड से
normal
जैसे बूम करके आप एक्सीलेटर करोगे
practice being followed,
दोनों
normal
की
procedures being
कंबाइन
followed.
फोर्स
Just
लगेगी
travel beyond that
इंजन और मोटर
four corner and create a space, make
एक्स्ट्रा
it
टॉर्क
and make a
एक्स्ट्रा
difference.
टॉर्क होते ही पिकअप हाई
So you can ask
रॉकेट
any
की तरह हो
question to
गई
me. I just I mean brushed upon
मैं
generally
वेट इसीलिए कर
what
रहा
I
हूँ
thought
जब गाड़ी
about
लो ना
mediation because my
ऐसी
own
लो वो
training,
15 साल तक
my
मगर
own approach
बताएं
as a judge.
जरूरत ना
Even as a judge,
दिल से लगा के रखी जाए फिर
I
वो
still
कितने की
remember
है
I
फिर
saw
होंडा
the
सिटी कितने की है
होंडा सिटी
10 प्लस जावा है
disputes, not like
एट
matter
प्रेजेंट
disputes, where a
25 लाख तक चली जाए
matter
टॉप मॉडल
came before me in different form, and people know I am me being a mediator is
एट
something I can
प्रेजेंट
give a result. So I
और
completed
हाइब्रिड
2
में आने
projects
के
of
बाद
apartments where a builder vanished,
इसकी
abandoned,
रेंज रहेगी
and the landowner and the
हाँ ये
investors have no
27
other
28 तक
options.
रहेगी बस
So I,
लाख
while
डेढ़
as a
लाख का
judge,
पड़ेगा
I never passed an order,
ज़्यादा ना पड़े
but I used
इसमें
this
पंचमा भी
process.
सीएनजी में भी अब
I
तो
never
ठीक अच्छी
used
खासी
that
दे रहे
tool
हैं
like
हाँ
in a
32
mediation,
34 तक
but
चली जाओ है
my
माइलेज
concern, my
वो
value
तो
which
मैं
I
होंदा माइलेज
embraced
भी
as a
माइलेज
mediator
बढ़ी
reflected
हाँ
in
हाँ
my
बढ़
conduct.
गई
I was
नए
able to
वाली
resolve
में
those disputes. And there are 2 apartment
पेट्रोल है ना आपके
projects
पास है पेट्रोल 15 ही
that
देगी
was
अब सीएनजी लो
those apartment projects were
उसमें पेट्रोल
successfully
भी है
completed and people are
पेट्रोल की
occupying.
माइलेज उसकी जो
So it not necessarily
सिटी और
we should
हाईवे की
exactly
कंबाइंड
use this
माइलेज
mediation
है
tool in our
वो
approach.
19 किलोमीटर
Whatever the sphere where you
टेस्टेड
happen to work or you decide to work,
Okay.
जो नए
that
वाली है
where
और
we
सीएनजी की
can reflect
माइलेज
upon
पुराने वाले
the
की
mediation values in those
24 25
spheres.
26 यहाँ
This is
से
the use
निकालती
of
थी
mediation.
अब
Of course,
उसकी
as a judge, I
एनहांस
have
करके उसको
limitations.
30
You
32
are a
तक चली गई
budding lawyers. You don't have a
और
limitations.
पहले वाली में टर्बो नहीं आता था
You just
अब
you need
इंजन में
only to
टर्बो
think
भी
about
आता है टर्बो से टॉर्क एक्स्ट्रा
and
हो
the
जाता है
circumstances where you are landed
माइलेज बढ़
and
जाती
make
है
a difference
फ्यूल
by
एफिशिएंसी
using the value we appraised
ये
in
दिसंबर में
the
सोची थी
mediation
गाड़ी
training.
लेने की पहले
अरे
तो
मैं
सोच
भी
रहे
मैं सोच रहा
That
था
definitely I'll make
मैं
this
फिर
available
मैं
for
रुक जा
mediation training.
फिर
सारी देख
वहाँ
देख
पैसे
कर हो
देने
गया
पड़
हूँ
गए
What exactly
वहाँ
happens in
गाड़ी
2
mediation?
महीने और रुकूंगा इस
अब
हाइब्रिड के चक्कर
क्वेश्चन आ गए
में
वो कहा ठीक है ब्लैक के ले लेंगे फिर
Students,
इस
am I
हाइब्रिड के
audible?
चक्कर में 2
Yes,
महीने
sure.
और रुकूंगा बीच में
So
फिर
my
मेरा
name is
फ्रोंक्स
Saran
का आ गया
Shrestha.
था
I'm
या
doing
फ्रेंड्स
LLM
तक
from the college.
पंच है यार इसका
So my question is,
फ्रोंक्स का
from
आया
theory we have studied that
मैं फ्रोंक्स
mediator
हाइब्रिड मानी
acts
थी
as a facilitator,
फिर उसका
and
देखा
he just facilitates
मैं
the
बोल रहा
dialogue between the parties.
कागज के
But
साथ
in
नहीं
practice,
खेल रहा
does he really break the barriers of a facilitator and
फिर
give suggestions also to
कौन
resolve
सा
the
है
issues, or he
यार ठीक
acts as a facilitator only
और
and
फिर
maybe doesn't give
रुक रहा हूँ
any
सिर्फ इसी
outputs
चक्कर
or
में
Generally, in
जो
court and
होंडा में
expedition, we act as a
अच्छा
facilitator because
अमेज में भी आओगे
it's an extension of
अमेज में हाइब्रिड होगा
public institution. And
पर
mediator
सेम है
in
उतनी
court and
है 10
expedition
10 11
act
किलो
as
पेट्टे
a
मार
अरे
representative of the court.
11 लाख में
So in
ई
that
हाल में
context, he has a
पेट्रोल लगा टॉप
constraints
मॉडल
going beyond
अच्छा अच्छा
facilitations.
अच्छा
But in private
फुल्ली
mediation, with
ऑटोमेटिक
concurrence of the parties, he can.
एडास
Absolutely no
क्रूज
problem at all.
कंट्रोल सारी चीजें
Only thing is that the confidence of the parties
बैठो बैठ जा
and
कितना हो यार का
the impartiality of
21 हो
the
बाकी
mediator
घर अधिक
need to
घर पे 10
be
है तो बंदी और
accelerated
बस
and
जो है
to be
क्या
projected to
करवाया है
अरे
parties,
बायोमेट्रिक का चल रहा है मैटर
no doubt.
अब मेरी भी बनाई है ये
That's why I suggested a
अपने
case
तो वो
where
ईआरपी
dispute that came to me as a
ईआरपी
lawyer,
लॉगिन दे रखी है
where I
सबकी
acted not as a facilitator,
एम्प्लॉय
And
Apply की
just
यार, कितना दिन है?
I suggested
ये
that I
कहीं
would
से भी
give my
ऑनलाइन
opinion
होते हैं,
after
अपने
1
मोबाइल
month
से लग जाएगी.
of they stay together.
ना
That's
इतना
my
वैसे
view.
खाली
That's not
login
came out
करना
from
है.
parties.
लॉगिन में ना तो करे
So
ना.
it is possible
करा
in
दो ना.
private mediation.
कर
No,
लो.
it
ना
not the
करा दो.
facilitator.
हैं?
ठीक है ना करा
But
दो.
important
Sir,
explain.
पे तो डाटे भी डाल लेंगे सारे इसमें.
sir,
मंडे
and
कल ना फाइल भी फॉर्मेट रहा होगा
conciliation
तो फाइल तो पहले चढ़ाई डालोगे.
taken out of the
तब
picture
जाकर ऑनलाइन
because
डाटा
there
बनाएगा
was
वो ढूंढना बन
Arbitration
जाएगा.
Conciliation Act
सारे
1996. But when the
ब्रांच
Mediation
वाले से
Act came,
डालोगे फाइल सारी
it
से डालनी
said
पड़ेगी
that
एक
there
बार.
is the
फिर
concept
वो
of
फाइल
conciliation
सर्च कर
would
कहीं
be
फाइल
absent and
यूज
mediation will take over conciliation.
Exactly.
Okay.
In what happens in
एक
conciliation,
बॉयज के गर्ल्स की है.
in before this Mediation Act,
बच्चा वाला.
were
बॉय
parties
बॉयज का
in
हॉस्टल
the
में.
in the private mediation, not court and mediation,
एक
parties
बॉय
can
गर्ल्स
arrive
के
a
लिए
settlement.
मतलब
That then the mediator can
यो
consider it, pass an award.
कोड दे रखा है यो.
So there is no purpose in that provision
उसमें
now.
यो कोड डाल
The
देंगे
reason
वो
that
नाम आ जाएगा.
mediation
हाँ, ये
agreement,
सीक्वेंस में तो दे रखी है,
enactment is
बड़का के
having
नाम दे
binding
रखी है.
force.
बैच वाइज
So
दे रखे हैं ये मैटर.
that become a redundant, the earlier provision.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
फिंगर लगाना है, लगा पीस लगा रहे हैं. फिंगर है फेस
Are
है
there
दोनों
any
काम.
questions?
दोनों चीज चलेगी. हमारे आधा फिंगर काम देगा नहीं बस.
फेस चल रहा है.
Everyone want to ask a question?
पर एम्प्लॉय का कुछ नहीं मैटर.
Good afternoon, sir.
बायोमेट्रिक
Am I audible?
फेस भी मैं धन्यवाद कहूँगा. वीडियो कॉल
Sir, my name is Mac. I am also from LLM, ADR, and mediation branch. Sir, my question is that, sir, what is the
आ गया
current
भेज दिया
standing of mediation as a dispute resolution
डिटेक्ट हो यार
in
आज
the
दी
current
लगी.
society, Indian society, which is basically
वही दिए.
a sovereign-based
डिले.
dispute resolution society,
ये
and
जुगाड़
what is
तो
the
जीत
mindset
जाऊंगा.
of a layman to choose a mediation as a dispute resolution?
ना तो आपका रेटिना इफेक्ट आता कुछ.
Lack of
वीडियो कॉलिंग में.
awareness
ना
exists
फेस
generally in
एक्सप्रेशन
our
पर कोई
country
इफेक्ट आता.
because the lawyers stand in between
उठेगा इस वाला होगा.
the mediation
हाउस
and
के
the common man of country.
ऑफिस असिस्टेंट के थे उड़ा स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी में.
So
टाइपिंग
awareness
भी
is a
लिया,
big issue.
रिटर्न भी लिया. नंबर
So this is how the legal service authority now trying to reach out to the people
एक बार लगे उठे.
and
फिर कल पति
giving
जब करवा
them
देगा मुझे.
uh,
ऐड की करेगा ना
knowledge
फिर
about
उड़ा
existence of
2400
such
में.
facilities with the legal service authority.
9:30 to 5:30 की ड्यूटी है.
क्या नाम.
Thank you, sir.
So it is
शिवम तक का छट्टा
it's
भाई तो
a matter of time, but
नु करता
actually
मैं यार तुम के
I think national average
कैसे चला दे
of settlement in
मुझे
court and
छोड़
expedition is 42, nearly 36%.
सही सो तो
Some of the
अरे
states
परमानेंट
are
पोस्ट
faring
लिख
well.
रहे
I
हैं
believe
परमानेंट
Jharkhand,
का
Kerala,
हाँ.
few other
अभी
states.
तरह में बेरा
अभी
लगता है.
तरह ना बेरा
That
लग
means
गया है.
if
और
100
दूसरा
cases are
जल्दी से हटाई भी नहीं जाऊंगा
settled,
लेकिन यूनिवर्सिटी
there is
पेपर
on
देने
refer
लग रहे हैं भाई.
40,
और कतनो
42%
देखे जा बिना
cases
पेपर
are
दे मारा
settled.
कदे सरकार कर दी गई.
And as per the rule, a lawyer of 15 years standing
हाँ
क्यों
are
कर
chosen
रहा है.
as a mediator.
जैसे यूएस के आने वाला बस सवाल उठ रहे हैं.
हाँ 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 हाँ
अपने आप पेपर गिरने वो कर दिए थे हम.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
तो उस प्रक्रिया ने ये पहले
Yes,
फॉलो
Indian
करते
पहले
हैं. उसका रिकॉर्ड तैयार करके
हाँ.
और न्यू गवर्नर के तो तब मरवा रहे.
I think that would be, sir, you have explained it all in very great detail, of course. Honorable,
इसने पकड़ बनानी है का बना
Sorry, sir?
रजिस्टर का करिए काला कर ले जाना
Karthikeya,
इसलिए
Kumar and Anushka, they don't have questions.
ये
I
और
see
डाल
them
दिया
all done.
लिया था.
काले
Abhiraj,
27 बड़ा का है भाई 52 में
Any
है.
undergraduate student who have any doubt?
27 में है 6 बड़ा की टाइपिंग लिखड़ी 30 तो ऊपर थी जिनकी और 6 पोस्ट थी 6 उसका
क्यों?
आने वाले में तीसरे नंबर पाया था टाइपिंग में. फिर
इसमें
और 6 गए बंदे ने रिटर्न करवा दिया जसविंदर ने.
Okay, then maybe
रिटर्न भी
wind up
करवाओ
then.
इनका.
Okay,
ठीक
thank
से
you so
वाला
much.
पेपर.
Honorable
इसमें
Mr.
क्या
Justice
लिखा.
Gupta,
Very
thank you for
very
such an enlightening and insightful session. Your perspectives, especially on
इसमें
how
वो नहीं
mediation is
है.
not just a tool for ADR, its emphasis in the Indian society and other nuances, have of course given us a very clear and more meaningful understanding of its role in today's legal
इसमें नहीं
landscape.
खुल जाएगा क्या
We
अपना
are
सिस्टम.
truly grateful to you for sharing your time, experience, and wisdom with us, Your Lordship. So, as we come to the conclusion of today's lecture, I now invite Dr. Akash, Faculty Coordinator for CCMDR, to propose the vote of thanks.
खोल दे क्रोम खोल
And I
दे.
request
फिर करो तो दो ठीक लिया
Thank you, Raja. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Honorable Justice Mohammad Mushtaq Sir, Chief Justice of Sikkim High Court, faculty members and dear students, it is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Law University, Sonipat, and Center for Conflict Management and Dispute Resolution. Sir, we are deeply honored by your presence and your valuable insights on mediation, be it Lord Krishna as a mediator and how mediation is a part of our culture. This all will enhance our understanding on mediation. And sir, thank you for the 4-day, 40-hour mediation course. And sir, we will try to generate more ideas, as you said. And sir, we are really grateful to you for taking out your time from your demanding schedule. And sir, we would like to host you someday in our campus. If you visit someday Delhi, please let us know, sir. And thank you for this opportunity. And so I would express my heartful gratitude to you for an intellectually stimulating lecture. Thank you so much.
Maybe next time for technology and AI, we can maybe spend some time there.
Yes.
I also want the youngsters to think about AI and technology. The future lies in those how you use the technology. You can't be like a lawyer like our generation. You have to be a bit different. Maybe conflict management, ADR, there are many technologies now in existence for resolving negotiations. Those things can happen. And the only place I feel it's only campus because you are the only person who can think about differently, not by us. Those who are already in the discussion, I don't think they will take any risk for going beyond what they now follow. Definitely, I'll come one day if time permits.
Thank you so much, sir. And we will be in touch regarding the.
I'll share I'll speak to him now itself, and you can give me a WhatsApp message or give me a call or whatever. Maybe you can share your number. I'll be in touch with you. I'll ask them.
Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.